Hi, my name is Tarek. Now, today what we want to do is we want to send some acknowledgement to the client. So we know how to write the UDP server. We have written a code. This is our code. We now know how we can write the server, and we have also written the client to send messages from the client to the server. Now we want to send some acknowledgement back to the client that your message has been received, some kind of acknowledgement. We need to add a few additional lines of code here, and also we need to update our client code. So first let's update the server code. So in order to send data back to the client, let's say send data back to the or send acknowledgement back to the client. Okay, so in order to send acknowledgement, so we need to create a datagram packet. So we will say datagram packet. Since we are using the UDP protocol, so we will use the datagram packet class to send the packet back to the client. We will say send ACK, it's short form of acknowledgement, new datagram packet. So now we'll use this method, this overloaded constructor, and we need to supply the byte buffer, the byte array, the length of the message, and the client's IP and the client's port. So for that, let's create the byte array here, byte array, and you can say data is equals to new byte array. And for length, let's do 1000. Uh, okay, so we need to place this. So it's saying that it's unreachable since this loop is the infinite loop, so this code will not be reached. So let's place this code here. Okay, okay. Now, what else we need? We also need a message to send. So let's say string ACK is equals to client, your message has been received. Okay. So now let's convert this into the byte array ACK dot get bytes, right? And we will send this here. We will say data, or let's specifically say client data. I'm very careful while using the variable names because in my experience is this should be named very carefully. Otherwise, in big applications, you cannot you cannot debug, or if there is a problem, then it's a complete hell for you. So client data, and we are sending the message. So it's client data dot length. For address, what address we have? So we will okay, we will have the client IP. So here we will write client IP, and here we will write client port, right? So I think this is okay. Now also one more thing I forgot to do. I need to send this message also, right? So what I will say, server socket dot send this data packet to the client. So now this is done. The server side program is now complete, and we can now this server is able to send data back to the client. Now let's make the necessary changes in the client code. Now to get the response from the client, let's say get response from server So for to get this response from the server, we need to initialize the datagram packet here also. So I will say datagram packet server response is equals to new datagram packet. And here also what I will say is I will take the binary, I will take the byte array and the length. So let's say, so now to send these parameters, let's initialize the data length, and we can say length is equals to, let's say, 1000 byte array. You can say date received, or you can say server data received is equals to new byte array length, and here we can pass the server data received and server data received dot length. Now we can say uh, system dot out, and we can say waiting for waiting for server response, right? And now here we using the client socket, okay, using the client socket, I will say receive data packet. So as I receive this data packet, I can extract the information from this packet, right? So I can say server response dot get address, okay, and I will get the inet address. So inet address, I will say IP address, and then I can say I can extract the port also. So I will say server port, server IP, server port. It will be server response dot get port, okay, and we can also we will also have to extract the message. So for that, say string server message is equals to new string, and it will be a byte, right? I'll get the byte. So I will say server response dot get data, right? And this data, the data we are getting is in the byte array form. Okay. Now, you can we can simply print these things. So let's say let's copy those from the server side. Let's copy these 3 lines from the server side. Okay. And here we can paste those 3 lines, and here I can say server IP, and I can say server IP address, server port, and here I will say server message, right? And finally I can say data received, or you can say response received from received from server, right? Okay. So what we are doing is we are creating a datagram packet. We are supplying the necessary parameters. So it's the data, the byte array, the actual data we are sending in the form of byte, the length, client IP, and the client port. And then we are using the send method to send it's kind of an acknowledgement that your message has been received to the client. On the client side, we are creating a datagram packet with byte array and the length of the byte array. So we are not sending very large messages. So then we here at this point on the receive method, the client will wait for the response from the server, right? It will the program will wait here when it will reach the program execution pointer. Well, when it will come on the line number 43, it will wait for the response, and as it will get the packet from the server, so we are simply extracting it and printing it. So now let's run the server. So okay, the server is listening. The server is right now waiting for the client to send some message, and let's run the client. Okay, okay, now you see waiting for, so we first the client has sent some message. The client has sent some message here. This is the message, and now as you can see, this server IP is null, and it has responded back to the client. But why it's null? Let's check. Do I have to here? Do I have to do dot host name, right? And server port, server port, and server message. Okay, let me send the message again to the server. Okay, it's saying the null pointer exception. Why it's saying null pointer exception? Host name is not there. Okay, let me check. So, so here so the problem is this one. I am using the data packet which I have sent to the server, and this is not the case. This is I should pass here this data packet. So as you can see, the names of the variables can be very confusing if you are not careful. So let's say server packet, okay, and I will pass this server packet here. I will pass this server packet here, and the same server packet will be server packet. This server packet will be used here. This server packet will be here. Server packet and this server packet. Server packet. Now let me run this program. Now you can see we have server IP address, which is this one, 127.0.0.1. So it's a local host, right? Port is 5556, and client message, or the client message is client your message has been received. Response from the server, right? And the response received from the server, right? So as you can see, it's working fine now. Your message has been received. Let's say or you can simply say acknowledged. Acknowledged. Okay. So let me run the server again. Stop this, and server is listening. So here I can print responding back to the responding back to this client. Responding back to the client. So let's run this, and let's run the server again, sorry, client again. Now, as you can see, responding back to the client. After responding, it's again listening. It has responded. The client port is 53625. This is the client's message. At As a response, server has sent the response and the client has received the response. This is the server IP, the server port, and acknowledged. Response received from server. So I hope you have got a good idea how the server can respond back to the client, and how the client can receive the packets on its end. So next we will explore the TCP, the connection oriented protocol, and how we can write the TCP server and TCP client. Thanks for watching.